Hello there everyone and welcome back to another video. So today we will be discussing Chippendales. Rescue Rangers! Rescue Rangers! I promise I thought of that joke before I saw the movie, and I recommend you wouldn't tell me any different. But when I saw the teaser trailer on my homepage of this movie, I was intrigued. I was aware of the show, but I had never watched it. I thought it could be fun, so I watched the trailer, and after I finished watching it, I sat in the corner crying for a week. Not because I don't have friends, but because of the trailer. So yeah. It seemed like it was going to be Ralph Breaks the Internet, but even worse, on one because because on the one time I watched Ralph Breaks the Internet, I did not like it. Even in the trailer, you see Aladdin, Indiana Jones, and a whole host of other cameos. I promised myself I wouldn't watch it, but then last Friday rolled around and I logged on to Disney Plus and I saw it on. And I didn't remember that it was going to be a Disney Plus exclusive. So I got excited to make a video because what else am I going to talk about? Oh my, that's dumb Star Wars thing. Nobody cares about that. Guys don't watch my video. Um, but yeah, I got excited, so I jumped on the idea to make one. When Sunday came, I watched it, and now I have a confession to make. I really like this movie. Um, Now I do have plans for 2 other videos I'm gonna make on this movie, so stay tuned. But today I'm going to try to convince you to watch this movie and give my reasons on why I like it, with as little spoilers as possible. Now, first of all, the cameos did not bother me at all. For the first 10 minutes, where it was the flashback, I was looking around worried for cameos. Just, I saw the trailer, I thought it was going to be bad. Wasn't going into it with positive mindset. Um, I, I was I was ready to make fun of this movie. That's all I'll say. So yeah, I was looking around for all these characters. Um, but yeah, I was worried for the cameos I just find in the first 10 minutes. It's like, oh look, they're going to school with Daffy Duck. Um, but this origin story, it was a nice origin story. I enjoyed it. In this world, whether it's Aladdin, Chip, Dale, or any other character, how they explain it is they are an actor. You could see all these crazy characters and they're shown as actors in this world where the properties are released. So, Chip and Dale, they're actors in this world where but they also have the show. Um, so they're still the characters, but they're still different. So you get to being shown them as actors. You get to the concept of seeing every single character you could think of, like even Batman. Yes, they even have characters not owned by Disney, so it becomes a game of how many references you can catch. Look, here's Mambo and Green. But seriously, it is fun and makes the story more enjoyable and more enjoyable with even more rewatches. I was joking about Mambo, sadly. I'm sorry. In addition, they've embraced this fictional Hollywood world. You can make fun reboots and knockoffs where it doesn't feel like the cameos are just here to be cameos, but really add on to the story in ways you couldn't do without them. For example, in one scene, Chip is at home watching a fictional movie of 2 famous Warner Bros. Characters fighting, which shows how even the characters are used to all these cameos and whatever being able to happen, so it kind of nullifies it for you. Another scene from the trailer, which I didn't like, was where Dale was like, "Oh yeah, I got the CGI server because of course I did," and it felt really weird and cringy there, and I thought it was like they're gonna try to get him to do it, and it's gonna be some big secret. Oh no, if you get the surgery, it does something with your mind, and it was just gonna be this about that, but it was just a throwaway line, and it just is thing you embrace. And uh, yeah, but it just feels fine. But besides the cameos, let's talk about other things. Like the villain. At least for me, it was a shock and turned out to be a really good character, but I will keep it secret because it was such a good subversion of expectations, and it might get you to watch the movie. I mean, what are we? We're like 6 minutes into this video now. You want to watch it by now. You could click off. I think it'd probably still count as a view, so if you want, bye. Um, but seriously, yeah, he's a good character. But another thing was the tone was something that it was kept serious because when you think about it, the villains dealing with serious topics like human trafficking and drug dealing. But then you have these hilarious jokes because in universe, a show that could be made for kids, like for example, Dora the Explorer, could be like a badass who's just chopping through detectives and cops, and it's like to us, it's like that's Dora the Explorer. This is hilarious, but in universe, it's like no, like it's not that she's made for kids. It's that she's still trained because she needs to act it out. So it's like, yeah, she's tough. And it just makes for hilarious jokes. In this universe, seriousness is mixed with the out of universe context, which gives for some hilarious punchlines. And since with so many characters that are past their prime, no one cares about them, you see whole areas filled with these characters dealing with different ways to deal with not being popular anymore. You have Chip, who's just moved on to a normal life as an accountant, Dale, and who's still clinging on to the chance of being popular once more someday with a bunch of others, and then you have the criminals, and then just you have all these different aspects where you're seeing how these forgotten actors are just trying to find new success, whether it's continuing to try to chase the fame, to move past it, to be a drug dealer, whatever. It's just cool. Um, Something else they handled perfectly is how they fulfill the fourth wall break trope, which is becoming ever more common nowadays. Where the characters they can mention their favorite episode or movie and discuss tropes without breaking the fourth wall because the media that which they reference is in this universe. They can be like, "Oh yeah, I loved Avengers Endgame. This is just like Avengers Endgame. This one scene," and it's like, yeah, Avengers Endgame comes out in this world. We literally see someone role playing as Fat Thor at one of the conventions. Um, I really think that this just gives a feeling which is really something special. However, the message of the movie gives a vibe to not make more of this movie or similar movies because that would go against the quality of this movie. But if it does good, they are because they're Disney, so it's like success, which is what this movie deserves because it's a good movie, is going to, if they don't deal with it, make the movie worse later on. Um, so I finished watching this movie and I was like asking for more and more. I want more. But then when I really thought about it, this movie goes against the point of making more. Although at the end they do say, "Oh yeah, we could do a reboot of the series." Oh, that's a bad shit impression. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna try. I'm not gonna try. I will do it in the next video. You need to watch the next video now. Yeah, yeah. That is smart tactics. But although they did say they could do a reboot of the show and the movie, they keep showing these ridiculous movies, which I can only assume came about because fans just asked for more of movies blindly. Like, oh yeah, I liked Avengers: Age of Ultron. How about you do that again, but with Thanos in Iron Suit, and then it just keeps getting crazier and crazier until you get to these dumb team up movies that nobody asks for, but just keep blindly watching because that's Iron Man. Um, they just keep asking for more without questioning the integrity of the story if they keep asking for more where it doesn't make sense. How studios follow the money instead of following a good story. It almost proves as a cautionary tale that this could happen to you if you see these dumb movies, because the audiences will just see a movie's name on it, and it's like, it just feels weird because you see Disney making this movie, and it's not like some weird indie studio, but with Disney doing all these unnecessary live-action reboots or undermining the finale of Mando Season 2 just because Grogu and Mando sells merch, where now Mando Season 3 is going to have Baby Yoda in it when it's trying to be more serious, and it just caused problems because they like that coin. I hope that Disney does take lessons from this movie and actually practices what they preach from here on. Now, with that tangent over, my last point is respecting the old characters while creating new ones. Now, sure, it can be a bit disappointing to hear that whatever favorite character you saw was going to be in the movie, you're like, Batman's in this movie. It's the one from Batman vs. Superman. I love that character. Said no one ever. But it's like, it's just not gonna be the same guy you saw in the source material because they're actors, but I do think this is the best way for us to get these characters. It would have been insulting to have these characters together and make a paper thin excuse for why they are. Like, again, I'm talking about Batman and I'm talking about the Dora example. Like, Dora, if this in-universe Dora from the Dora the Explorer TV show was fighting, I don't know, SpongeBob, that would be very insulting to actually be part of the story canon. So now that they're actors and they're fighting in this context, it makes it seem better than like well um she doesn't like sponges because Mr. Krabs swiped the Krabby Patty. I don't like Swiper. Um And now that we have these actors, it just gives us new character. It's basically a new character in the old skin to tell these stories which couldn't be told in the old one, where in the story. So you're having this character you recognize who's somewhat similar because, they're only known for packing this one character because it's not actors as we know them, where it's like, yeah, Chip and Dale, they're actually not just in this, but then they also have this other show, and it's like, that kind of happens, but it's like they're mainly just known for this one thing, and then, so they need to harness the traits of that while still being this different character with their own different personality. Furthermore, it gives a sense of familiarity because it's not too different from reality, where we have these actors who are once famous, fade into obscurity for one reason or another, and then you also have these fans who care about you instead of just being SpongeBob is walking around on land to meet up with Chip and Dale. And just, I think this helps the story. Um, and it gives a great dynamic feeling, which benefits the style greatly. And although I could keep going, the rest of my points are spoilery and are encroaching on my other planned videos. So if you want to hear my Chip impression, you should subscribe maybe, or just see if it puts in your notification feed. But thank you all for watching. So go watch this movie now. No! And, tell me how good it is in the comments so I can also get that sweet, sweet coin. And until the next video, goodbye.